We're working on the software switchover, so she might be
Okay,
a second. So,
you wanna wait or?
no, that's all right. Well,
We're open?
Yep.
All right, 6:01, we are open. So first thing is adjustments to the agenda. Anybody have anything they need to change or add?
I have a couple of things.
Okay,
It completely caught the FEMA bid packets. We'll have to open those. So that will be,
I was gonna ask about that actually.
yeah, it just kind of skipped my mind, and then this morning the bid was on my desk and I'm like, yeah.
All right, is that old business?
Yep. And then, there's some appointments and oaths. And then, the school budget is on the agenda, so you guys can just sign this. School budget part, so I think that's. Marty, did you have anything other than the oaths and appointments to add to the agenda?
The warrants for the school budget.
Yeah, the school budget's on the agenda.
The CEO appointment?
Yep.
Okay, all right, because I have. Okay. Anything else you guys noticed? All right, we have signing warrants in process. Review previous minutes. Aaron, did you have any issues with?
No.
No. Okay, I'll sign this one.
So I make a motion to approve the minutes from.
Thank you. I will second. All in favor? All right. We'll be opening that.
Great. Oh, I so wish I had done that.
If somebody comes in, just say. How about now?
Yeah. Is it in my hand? I hope it's.
What did we decide to sign the minutes?
6:01.
So. Want to make sure that the planning board adjustments are also on the agenda,
Well,
or is it just part of the warrant?
it's just part of the warrant, yeah.
That's all I care about. No, don't stick around for a minute.
Sorry.
I could be green.
At 6.
I got something covered.
All set?
Yes.
All right, we shall continue on. So public comment is next, and Glenn, you're up.
Want to speak on the gymnasium issue, and I see it's on the new business, so I'll wait till then.
Okay. And Molly, you signed up also?
Same thing.
All right, very good, thank you. Okay, on to town manager report.
My turn already. So I guess the first thing would be, our last meeting, there was the talk about buying the other fire truck for $15,000 and all of that happy stuff. A company similar to like Brimley Mountain reached out to Chuck, gave Chuck an estimate as to what they could sell the one that we already have for, and so that estimate was $15,000. So they said that they'd be willing to list it for us, but they get 10% of whatever we sell it for. So Chuck just wanted me to put out the feelers, like if we want to list it with them, if we want to try to list it ourselves, what our bottom number would be that we would want to sell it for. So like if they listed it for us, what's the lowest amount we would take without them having to come back and ask, that kind of thing.
So did they get that other truck?
Yeah, they're in the process of it.
They were accepted?
How much was that?
15.
It was 15.
That's. I don't know. I would be all in favor of listing the truck.
With that particular person? Or even by ourselves first and then, or,
I mean, if they obviously are gonna reach more people. than
Right.
Putting it on wherever we put it.
Right.
Facebook or wherever, probably into that niche market. that
Yeah.
Might be looking for it, so I mean, when we sat here a month ago, it was indicated that they weren't sure they could get 3,500 for it, so that's a significant increase if they
Yeah.
can really approach that. Giving up 10% of that doesn't seem like a terrible idea, to a broker.
Right.
There's no cost to list it,
Mhm.
it's just they get paid if they sell it.
And there's no timeline that they have, like, that it has to stay with them.
no,
Okay.
no. And it's called, Garage is the company. And they also do like assessments and stuff.
If that sells for 15, is there any way to put a stipulation on it that it repays the reserve that we spent?
Oh, it will,
Okay.
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
cover the reserve, that was the money we took from reserve.
yeah,
to
yeah.
buy the truck, okay. Aaron, any thoughts on that?
I mean, the more money we get out of it, the better we are.
Yeah.
But the idea of having somebody that does have that further reach.
What do you think about minimum that we would accept without coming back?
I would say minimum's gonna be 10.
Yeah, okay, I was thinking the same thing, so if we shoot for 15 and they can go to 10 with no
Okay,
callback.
okay,
I mean, it's still a significant increase over what,
we were anticipating,
right?
Well, and I'd like to see it be 10 with their 10% taken out.
So 11.
so like 11, okay. I was thinking like 12, so that's
Okay,
around the same ballpark. And then on the same lines, the fire department just wanted me to reach out to you guys, that after town meeting, once, a new member is voted in, if you guys would be interested in having a workshop with the officers on the fire department and just kind of collaborating again. I told them I would bring it up and see what the feelers are. Okay.
yeah,
And then so, a little while ago, I brought up the need for radios in public works. And we finally got our license to have the radios. So that whole process took quite a while, but, now I'm working on getting quotes, for the different radios. Right now I have a quote from Atlantic and then KE Customs. Atlantic isn't installed, but KE Customs is, and they're almost the same amount even with, installation. And it's about $4,500 for the whole setup, and that's for in the loader and the truck, and then, a mount here in the town office so that we can communicate with Steve a bit better than we are currently.
money exists in the budget for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I don't have to take from anywhere.
I don't think so. Do we usually talk about the dedication to the town report at town meeting, or is that, like, I mean, at select board meetings, or is that like a surprise? I can't remember.
That's a surprise. It's always been.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to mention it so that I wasn't like keeping a secret on purpose. We are in the process of doing our trio switch over tonight into tomorrow, so business might be a little crazy, tomorrow with a brand new system. And so they're currently in the background right now, working on our computers, trying to switch everything over to that new model. And they gave us like a play environment to play with for the last 2 weeks, but unfortunately it's been very busy in here, so it's been hard to get into the play environment.
Will that impact any business going on tomorrow? People
Not
coming?
really, I just might have to be saying, bear with me a minute, might take a little longer. just
Yeah,
because for lesson
specifically at 7:30 tomorrow, like that is probably gonna be mostly because Marty will be here by herself at 7:30 tomorrow, and then that's when, like, that'll be brand new. And they'll have to connect to all of our computers individually and set it up like that, so.
Did we find out how much the new system is gonna cost?
It was.
It ended up being, like around $4,000 or $5,000, I think, instead of the 10 that we thought.
Yeah.
They had two things and I thought it was two pieces of the same upgrade, but it was a one or the other.
Okay.
So,
And it was significantly less for mud, which was a nice surprise because
yeah, that was
mud
good.
doesn't help.
Very reasonable.
And then we sent out 30-day notices this week, so that will take up quite a bit of our time after this week is the calls and whatever. This year, we also went through and found anybody because through the 30-day notice, anybody that owes over $10 gets the notice, but anybody under $10 is just straggly interest that accrues from one year to the next. So I just made up a generic form, filled in what they currently owe, less than $10, whatever, and just sent a regular reminder notice to try to clean up some of that from year to year stuff. And the last thing I have to talk about is the town meeting meal, but we can wait and do that after all the rest of the stuff that's on the agenda.
How about that? Okay, thanks. And as far as the monthly budget report, anything outstanding that you see?
Not really. Anything that's like significantly over has like a rhyme or reason for
Right.
that, and
The only thing I noticed, that I had a question about was, the repairs under fire department, but is that a reimbursement that
Yes.
hasn't happened? Okay,
Yes,
that's
yes.
what I assumed.
Yeah,
because
that's-
Way over. and I
yeah,
was like,
so that's for the 2 fire trucks, that's like
Right.
$46,000 or something like
Yes.
that, and we'll get
We got that check today.
both of them or just one of them?
One of them.
Okay.
It just hasn't been receipted in because it's made out to us and the bank, so the bank's gonna stop by tomorrow and put their signature on it, and then I'll be able to.
Perfect,
It was like 34,000 or something. like that.
Okay, yeah,
that'll bring it back into line.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That's good.
You guys have any other questions about town manager report? Okay. All right, on to select board reports. I will start with you, Aaron, because.
Well, everything I got's on the agenda, so.
Okay.
I have just one thing, and that is, Sue, I know this is your last night, that you have resigned effective today, and I just wanted to thank you. Through the last several years, you have provided, leadership and sort of, been a light through some very difficult times. And I appreciate you've acted as a mentor, you've acted as, a calm yet strong voice, and even when you've had to drop the hammer.
The velvet hand.
I know,
I-
my nickname is becoming the hammer, I'm sorry.
I really appreciate that, the role that you've taken, and you will absolutely be missed on the board, so thank you very much.
Thank you. It's really been a pleasure working with you both, and it's kind of a mixed feeling I have, getting off. Like I said last time, just other life opportunities are coming up. Starting a little business of my own that's ramping up in the next month, so it was kind of, I needed to kind of not spread myself too thin and wanting, just to do the right thing. That's always been the goal for the town. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, so I have just a couple questions, follow up on minutes from last time. So the audit went line, or is
Uh,
it still?
It's still in the works. They were waiting for some letters back from like our attorney to see like what's going on, what they foresee in the next future, and so they're aligning with them. And then they also need like certified letters from each bank that we have a debt service with, and stuff like that. So it's just the fine tooth comb stuff at this
Okay.
point. But they haven't indicated anything,
Anything
no.
out there? Okay. And you're gonna hate me asking this one, but I have to.
Is it about
because I always
DOT?
follow up. Well,
Is
that
that on
was
there?
one of them,
Yeah.
but I'll jump to that one first since you mentioned it.
Yeah, so I have yet to get anybody to return my calls specific about the
Mike is like not,
no, and then, like, so when somebody from DOT called today about my email thing, I was really hoping that it was him
right,
returning one of my calls, so, the planner in Wilton that included me on like all the startup, meetings and stuff for this project.
for this, yeah.
So I emailed him this morning and asked like, who do I ask this question to
Right.
if he's not gonna email me? Like, he should know, like, if he's the planner of the project, he should know.
Yeah.
So I haven't forgotten about that, it's just,
Right, yeah, I
DOT is
mean,
not
as they're starting to pave and they said they would be putting in crosswalks
Right.
for us, and
right,
we just wanna know what they're
Right,
gonna
and
look
like-
like and where.
and where, right,
Wow,
so.
well, that's kind of unnerving that the village partnership,
Piece of it,
contact,
yeah.
Mike is,
Well, and also I had a question about like the whole sidewalks too, because like they're literally right here, right now, like what
right,
would we have to do to, you know,
right,
because there's pieces of our sidewalks that are in complete disrepair.
Well, some of them got taken out by the grinder too, so I'm assuming the state's gonna fix them on their way through.
Well, that's what we thought too, but then when we talked, when Steve talked to him earlier, he said no. So I don't know what, well, I'm hoping this planner, I can't remember what his name is,
Yeah.
but I think it's Mark, maybe. But yeah, so
Okay.
that has not fallen off my radar, I promise.
you guys promised to follow up on that future meetings. Okay.
I got one thing, I just happened to
Go.
think about it, cause I saw one go by. Have the ATV clubs been contacted as far as their contracts for the season?
Did we do a 3-year contract?
I think,
last year?
I think we did more than 1 year, but I'll double check. But no, they have not.
Yeah.
Because we gotta get in contact with them about getting the other signs for the other roads,
Yeah,
like Pleasant Street.
Right. because they were supposed to do that last year,
Yeah.
or somebody was, yeah. Yeah.
And I think
That's right.
the guy from Abbott had said that he would do that. but
Yeah,
never
he's
happened.
pretty good about
So,
doing that. I'll wait for you to write that one down. Okay, and this is one that you're gonna cringe when I ask you, but, because we ask it all the time, 99 solar, 997 solar, have we gotten, they're waiting for us to, well, we decided last time we would
Right,
start
so,
paying again.
so we sent the check out on May 7th.
Okay,
So he hasn't received it yet, cause he emailed me this morning and was like, hey, any update? Which was a nice surprise, because that's the first time that conversation has ever come this direction before. So I told him that I did mail the check out and we're ready for the next step, so.
right, so they're supposed to initiate fixing the,
Yes,
the,
which when I was down there the other day, there was about 37 pigeons standing up there looking at me and I was like, oh, man.
did he want us to
He wanted us to
power
clean,
wash
yeah.
that, and then they were gonna send somebody to fix the panels?
Well, that wasn't necessarily a stipulation. He just
Okay.
wanted us to start paying again before he put any more money into that.
Okay.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't terrible.
Let's see, we have added FEMA on here, the bid, that grant, I know you've been busy, that grant from, the stream, fisheries, Penobscot Nation Fisheries for the culvert possible replacement. Were you able to get any more information on that?
I haven't received more information on that particular grant, but I did, receive some information about a different grant that particular culvert might be eligible for. And I've left some notes for whoever comes into this position after me. Some contact people and some ideas for that specific,
Okay.
culvert, so.
Okay, great. And my last question is just about road work and what we're doing in the near future.
So after we open this here bid will be the start of, cause I kind of assumed that we would only get one bid. But that same contractor would be doing both, the finishing up the Barrels Falls Road from last year. And then on the Deckestrom Road, there's some issues with the stormwater that we brought down the hill. And so I actually reached out to Pete from DOT that teaches all the classes and stuff, and they have like a road ranger, I think is what they refer to him as, that works alongside him, just to come down and look to see, like maybe give us some different ideas or whatever. That way we're doing our due diligence and making the property owner happy and saying like, we're doing, I mean, the road looks significantly better than it has in the past, so that was the goal, and we did that, so, but also at the same time, I don't wanna flood anybody out on accident either, so.
Okay. And any other work like on North Guilford?
Yeah, so after the budget passes in July will be the start of the next year's projects. And then we're in hopes to do the North Guilford Road with contractors, and then, we have some more in-town work that we're hoping to have, like a mini excavator, and Steve and an individual running the excavator, do some in-town stuff while the contractor's doing other stuff, so.
Good. I just wanted to
Nope.
wrap my head around that one. I think that's all I have.
Okay.
All right. Town committee reports, beautification, Sandra?
The planter boxes are out and the plants are in the front of my house.
Oh, okay.
We're not putting them in just yet, but it got a little cold the last couple of nights, so it's a good idea. The plant sale is scheduled for the 31st. Posters are going up around town, and we're still working on the gnome fire hydrant painting project, but making progress there.
GNOME.
GNOME, yes.
And just so people know, we still have the winter banners up with the snow rollers, and hopefully those will get changed this weekend. We're volunteers, so we're just waiting for the big volunteer to be able to do that. Okay, so what's next? Cemetery.
Cemetery, yes. We had a cemetery committee meeting on April 29th. And the cleanup of the decorations over the winters is completed. Chris has started the mowing, and he's picking up all the drop branches up in the old churchyard cemetery. He's got 3 burials in the Hillside Cemetery scheduled for this month. We received the material for the stone cleaning kits. We'll be putting those together, and we'll have a demo how to clean the stones this Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Hillside Cemetery for the members or anybody else who wants to come. And we're gonna work with Elena to convert the cemetery CDs to the Maine Community Foundation before she exits, hopefully.
Yep.
That's it.
Did the property lines up to the churchyard cemetery get squared around for Chris as far as what he mows? Cause
No.
he was asking
Yeah,
if it was the churchyard cemetery property or the church's property or the town's property.
and I do not know the answer to that.
Okay.
But, see, would that be on the real estate maps?
Yeah.
Cause I'm trying to think of who always was mowing it.
Well, it's always been the same one mowing everything, so.
Well, before David Ray, whether it was somebody that the church had hired to mow or.
That I don't know.
Like in the cemetery or on? the
No,
hills?
like up by where the memorial is. That front section.
Oh, in front of the cemetery,
Yeah,
there's the Veterans Memorial
yeah.
and the other World War II Memorial Stone and just the area down to the road.
I think the town.
I was gonna say, is that
all of
town
that.
if the memorial's not, I mean,
I didn't hear that.
is that town property?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I mean, if we put a memorial on it, you would think
right.
it would be town. I'm pretty sure all of right there is town owned, but I'll double check before.
We
Before I
don't
get,
wanna, we don't wanna get into mowing when we're up there.
no, no,
The town owns the cemetery. too.
right, right.
So I don't know if there's, you know, if it's different lots or not, but
So one would be like front and back, kind of. Like if they were separate
yeah,
lots.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
I would say if they're both town properties, we can just call it part of the churchyard cemetery and have Chris mow that.
yeah,
too.
yeah,
But he just asked and wanted to make sure before we started doing something.
yeah, well, that should be easy enough. I say that. I shouldn't say things like that out loud. I will find out though.
And I just have to say, that's not a veterans memorial, correct? It's a veterans, what are we saying it is?
Yeah, it's a Veterans
A
Memorial.
memorial,
Yeah. It's got all the names of the veterans from the Civil War.
okay, cause my name's on that too.
Is it?
You
Yeah,
don't have to be dead to be on there.
okay, well, that's one of them, it's a memorial.
Unless you're a Civil War veteran, then you do have to be dead.
Just checking. Okay, sorry for that. All right, we're all set with that. On to CEO.
Okay, so Garrett Lower is our new CEO, so he's attending this evening.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
so sorry. I went,
He comes
Hold
before,
on.
oh, I thought we were going in alphabetical order.
I know, I totally forgot. I'm sorry, Ray.
We'll do
Collaborative is next.
So for
Sorry.
the collaborative, we're getting ready for the expo, the big expo that's coming up real soon. We have 1.5 people signed up, so we have money for 2 winners. So they're gonna be real happy unless somebody else.
How do we do a
signs up.
half a person?
Well, they're not always signed up. They said they wanted to.
Okay, all right. Just
So
wondering.
that's on June 13th.
June 13th.
Deadline to sign up is the 30th of this month. So, you know anybody that wants money, or if your business needs some money, email us, Monson Collaborative.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
All right.
Now
No.
CEO. So yeah, he came to our meeting tonight just to introduce himself to everybody.
Nice to meet you.
Answer any questions that any of you might have. I don't know how much of a report you have for tonight. I know there's just been a couple of just building permit applications and that's about it, right?
Yeah, so far I've done, I'm going on the 3rd bill permit, today. And then I have a meeting with some property owners next Friday. But yeah, no, so my name's Garrett Lauer. I'm a code enforcement officer. I have been for about 4 years now. I've serviced large towns. Now I created my own business in November where I service small municipalities to keep small municipalities current with, up to date with laws and, yeah, basically that sort of thing. Yeah, if anybody wants to reach me, I'm a lot easier to reach than most code officers are in the past, and that's kind of my motto. I got a cell phone to reach, call it, text at any time, 24/7. I might not answer it, you know, if it's late night, but I'll probably call you in the morning, so.
Very good, yeah. And we'll update, I don't know if the website has been updated.
Yes,
but
and he
just to get the word
also has already updated our building permit application, and it is much easier to read and
Yeah, and I'm gonna, like, all this stuff is gonna end up being digitalized too, so, it's like, especially with assessors, I work with a lot of assessors that do a lot of towns too, so I get it digitalized so they can pull it up, live feed it and stuff like that, so that's gonna be kind of the things that I bring in. I don't change the town much, all I do is kind of make things a little bit easier. Like, just like the bill permit application, that was kind of thing I looked at, and even as a code officer, I kind of got stumbled on it, so we had to fix that a little bit. It's a little more streamlined and cleaner to look at.
Excellent.
And permits can be issued electronically now, when people reach out to him. You know, he can, either we can send the applications from the office, or people can send them themselves, and then they can be issued their permits online, which I think people will like.
Yeah,
As far as, some of the concerns that have been brought up, there was a citizen that brought up a concern on Chapin Avenue, with the sort of a junkyard flowing, and then, there are two places on the Greenville Road. Is that something that, like, do we have a form
I was gonna ask.
for that? Do we have a way for people to
Was that contact town office and then you would communicate with?
Oh, like for somebody to like reach out and express a concern like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I already have gotten those types of calls already, when somebody had found out that I was doing this, and I already have received quite a few calls like
Okay.
that, and, usually whether phone call, email, I document that goes to its own little
Yeah.
folder, and then I set dates for those types of inspections. I would say that basically while we're on this conversation, I'll at least kind of bring this up, so that way you guys have an understanding on the services and kind of the needs and
Yeah.
such like that real quick. So let me give you a quick little rundown on just what I've been able to figure out about Monson and such in my time. All right. So on the budget, I saw it was proposed as $3,500 per year. And the estimated permit revenue through taking back to about 2021 was about 40 permits annually, and the average cost of each permit is $30. So for 40 permits by 30 is $1,200 annually. So with the base contract, $3,500, estimated revenue would be $1,200. That'd be $4,700 annually. With my professional services is $50 an hour. And so that gives the town 94 hours annually. That goes 7.8 hours a month with a 1.8 hour per week. Most times I would say that usually fits the bill. I'm kind of starting to get concerned that I think Monson might not. And the reason why I say that is because I think it might be, one, maybe you guys weren't previously getting the services that you should have. So that kind of fit the bill for where that would be. And as I always do, I'll take the towns as what is budgeted. So obviously I'll do it $3,500. But I just want to like make you guys aware that already the calls and complaints, it seems like you guys need that help. And like one was a health and safety for apartment building, another one shoreland zoning, erosion controls. So there's a lot of stuff into that. What I kind of thought in my head and looking at things is wasn't really too crazy, but it was basically just double, 7,000. And that could be conversated with too, because at the same time, right now, the whole state is going through their permits. They're looking at it going, a $30 permit, that was what we charged about 20 years ago. Things aren't the same cost. So, and what I always try to urge is to up the permit cost, so therefore you're not charging each fee. Like I said, like it would change from the 3,500 to 7,000 to actually service the town with the needs that are met. With that 7,000, that would give the town 164 hours annually, which is 13.7 a month and 3.1 per week. And I always keep in mind, same time, we go through December, all that such. So some of those hours obviously will end up, July is way more busy. You're up over 13 hours. That's because, December and through those winter months, that doesn't happen. But I just kind of wanted to at least bring that up to you guys, that that was something that already I'm kind of seeing with the need of the town and the lack in permit fee. 30 is probably one of the lowest, like you guys probably the lowest in the state. Which is fine, but that just leads into, that if it takes it's a lot of stuff to go through, then that could be some issues with filing permits, conversating through it and such. I just wanna, and always go over, because I can't help myself, but do the best I can. So I'm just basically saying I will continually answer phone calls, but that is one of my concerns, is I think that the town might need that, and we can go with the start. If you guys feel like that's comfortable, and address it later on as I do monthly reports. We'll do another annual report when the contract goes up. But I just kind of want to, at least, my phone has been ringing, there has been permits going, and I think Monson might be a little bit more busy than the other town. I do Frankfort, same amount of people, but they just don't have shoreland fronting and stuff like that, so.
And so you and I had this discussion, the last time that you were in, so, did we decide that we were gonna proceed with the current budget and then revisit it in a year? Is that what?
That so like, this is all stuff that I had figured out since we left, we took on and people started calling and burning it in. So this is just my professional opinion saying, I don't think the amount is what Monson will need. But I'm easy enough that we can work within that, but that, residents might hear, I was just up Friday, I can't really schedule you back in. I did a 5.5 hour, day up there that, that can eat up a lot of time when electronic permits are being filed and phone calls are being answered throughout the week. So that it can add up to be quite a bit. So, and then, like I said, I'm more comfortable. When I actually saw the permits and saw how many were actually being filed and what types and where, I was like, okay, this is actually quite a bit of permits and a lot in shoreland that could need a lot of addressing. And what that stuff do is, because like also we got the LD 1849 that's coming into effect, like the LD 2003, which was the allowing of ADUs, accessory dwelling units and such. And this is another thing that these are all revisions that will be needed to be done to the ordinance. So that's kind of what I'm saying, is that you start talking about all these different avenues. It could be hard for us to have a lot of workshops because this new law came into place and they're needing my time to address these fixes. So just wanted to bring it up. We start, with that might run into those types of issues.
Are there any other towns that are kind of similar to ours with shoreline? I'm just thinking of like, what are they charging for permit fees?
So mostly are going on to square footage, not off of a flat rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greenville and Shirley charge 20 cents per foot.
Mhm.
But you can raise your permit fee anytime because it's not part of the ordinance, separate.
Right.
I got a question. If you get a permit application for a new dwelling unit, the septic system has to be permitted first. So I'm the plumbing inspector, so that's why I'm passing up, because it happened in the past, like you say, down here, that they was issued a permit without the septic permit.
Oh, yep.
So I'm just passing that on to you. They will try to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll try to get your contact information.
Yep.
So that way with the way
Oh, so, yeah, you guys have.
No, I think that pretty much, because the only question I had was, because after I heard about you and was looking at your website, I saw that, your annual pay doesn't include any legal fees, like once it goes into a legal part. That doesn't come out of the town budget, that's totally separately billed, correct?
No, that's more up on basically how to do the discussion really on how we wanna work with that. Meaning like if it's something that's not taking up much time and we could fit it within, then that. But like at the same time, I kind of leave that up like that because these smaller towns, we're not really doing such like that. I don't see that, you know, we're not doing property maintenance, trying to go after each property, you know, once a year, you've got to, because that's how some big towns are. You got like 3 properties, hey, this is 30,000, we're gonna go through these properties this year. So I kind of, you know, leave it up like that because if it's time that we can do within already what's allotted, because like I'm huge on just wanting to save taxpayers and not be bloating budgets, but also getting and receiving actually real services, not, you know, somebody that just doesn't really know what's going on, not, you know what I mean? That's basically what I'm here selling is really good services and keeping within budget, somebody that cares about and goes through the town on that aspect.
Well, I mean, as far as future discussions is up in, you know, the pay. Any position in this town, you know, if somebody's worth the money, you know, if it can be budgeted without causing any major problems, then it's worth it.
Well, and I think we've had those discussions in the past about wanting to be fair for the amount of work that's being asked. We know that. So.
Right.
Are you AEK certified?
I am getting that actually. Yeah.
And you know, I know we have these discussions and, you know, my take is it's an investment in how we maintain people, but also in the services to the town. So, but I just don't know in terms of like it's in the article in the warrant.
Yeah.
Budgeted, what we have to-
For this year, yeah.
Unless like Brian says, we can change the permit fee and make up some of
Right.
that.
Right, which we could do that, and then this year, and then next year, adjust, the actual stipend pay, if that is something.
Yeah, because like if that's kind of my biggest thing was the permit fee.
Okay.
That just was not, it was, because like $30 for a permit and it, you know, whatever, or 40, that still was just not much, you know, it could eat up a lot of time and
Yeah.
such. So that was my only concern, was big as the permit fees. And I think that if we got up to date on that end, we probably might not have to make any adjustments otherwise.
Okay.
So we'll discuss that. Do you have numbers in mind, or do you wanna do some more figuring and then?
I have a understanding about what it should be, and he hit it right there, is really 25 cents a square foot,
Okay,
commercial 35.
okay,
And that's mostly,
So
and
it's
Katie
period.
Cog did
okay.
a similar survey of that such. So I even have the surveys that they've done around, and I'm working with other towns doing the same exact deal.
Okay, so if we just did something like that, then,
Yeah.
okay.
And I could send you an email.
Yeah,
with that.
that'd be great. Yeah, sure. That'd be super.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Yes, no problem. Thank you for your time.
So then, later, when we're signing appointments, I do have one for him. I don't know if you're gonna stick around till the end. You would just have to sign the oath is all. We could maybe do that now if we need to leave, or if you're gonna hang
Makes
out,
sense to do
then.
it now.
If you want to do it now, I wouldn't complain.
Okay. We'll have them do that, and then you can just come right on up and sign it.
In regards to the junkyard issue as well, one of my best friends is actually the lead detective on junkyard, so at least have a good idea on the issues and
Yeah,
problems
who
of
the-
those and how
yeah.
to deal with those.
There are a couple on the Greenville Road that have sort of jumped to the
Level of.
Forefront.
level
Of a junkyard, so, yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, you can see one's on the road, one's back from the road, but they're starting to accumulate some cars and.
Yes.
I mean, it's, you know, a mile out of town.
Mhm.
And so, just like on the radar,
Right,
you know.
no, I hear you, I appreciate you guys' time.
Thanks for coming
Nice to
up.
meet you guys.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you guys, and I'll talk with you guys.
All right, thank
I'll
you.
give you my.
Information, okay, thank you very much.
All right, on to new business, and thank you for being patient back there. School budget.
I'm just gonna speak up real quick.
Yes.
The school board rep, I have to leave.
Oh.
But I wanted to say thanks to Stacy. There was a lot of work put into this. I support it. I'm hoping folks will be pleasantly surprised relative to the last couple of years as far as where we're at with the town of Monson. Unless there's anything you need from me, I'm about 20 minutes past my hard stop time, so. I gotta go.
Thanks, James.
Well, thank you.
You guys don't get me started.
That's something that might be-
Yes.
I didn't read it, so I don't know what it is. Yeah, I read that one.
Goodness. Well, thank you very much for giving me time to speak tonight. I do hope that once you see the final numbers, you will be very happy with Monson's numbers. But I will start out by saying it's been a really tough budget year. We came in initially 1.1 million over what last year's budget was, and we knew for a fact that we could not bring that to taxpayers. And so we got to work with making some cuts. Valuation hit everybody this year. I can tell you, Dover was up 23%. Monson, Charleston and Sabat were up 14 and 13%. You guys both were up 4.
That's because we got it all the other years.
Yes,
Well,
yes, true. When I was talking to Sabat and they were looking at the numbers, they're like, hey, how come Monson only is paying their, it's under $10,000?
Yeah, look at last year.
because
That's
2
what
years
I
ago
said.
was
Let
the,
me remind you.
Yeah.
They've had 3 really tough years, so.
yeah, and one of those years, like, one of those went down, or.
Other towns with that.
Yeah.
And you guys still, because based on your number,
Right.
you just hadn't hit that magic 50 number.
Right,
You pay the states and you can pay for all of your infusion.
which is so kind,
Yes.
so kind to assume that we have extra money.
So our guiding principles didn't change. The school board was really committed to making transparent, student-centered budget decisions. And they were committed to making budget decisions that reflected the district's mission. So the work usually begins in December. This year was no different. And then in January, the admin team got together and started putting all of the requests from staff together. We got our 279 on the 29th of January, and it was $36,000 less than last year. So last year we got about $445,000 from the state. This year it was $36,000 less. So we had about a $481,000 turnaround before we even did anything. So that was painful. So we had meetings in January, February, March. And the board, usually the board says come in as low as you can, and this year was no different. Knowing that, though, that the caveat that usually come in between 2 and 3%, and that probably we're not gonna be able to do that this year. And so we did end up at, we're at 4.79% to taxes. We are 1.44% though of an increase from last year to this year, so $215,000 more than last year. The town of Quebec is showing the biggest increase at 6.5% or 47,000. Monson is showing the smallest increase with 1.4% or $9,812. The additional local required by the state was $169,000 increase, and the total increase for local was $239,706. So that's a $70,000 increase to our additional local. So we talked about state valuation, that was just really helpful for all of us, and then numbers, we were down overall, we were down about 10 students. So that also impacts all the way through our 271. When the governor's budget was passed, there was $8 million in that budget for economically disadvantaged schools. We are hovering at about 63% free and reduced. So we received just over $63,000. So with that, it says that we were going to add a 3rd grade position. We actually ended up adding a 1st grade position back into the budget. So if you look at regular instruction, you'll see that it's up just over $500,000. Salary increases were 6%. Insurance came in at 3.09%. We cut out of this line an ESL teacher, library aides, a grade 3 position. Supplies are up like 32%. It's just crazy, school supplies. We also we have an intervention program, an online one that we've had probably 9 years now. IXL, it took like a 12% increase, and it was going to be over $16,000. So and then we also got laptops out of this budget. Special education, you will see is down $96,000. Again, salaries, 3% increase, insurance 3.09%. We cut 3 ed techs, the social worker, an FA sped teacher out of these lines. We have more staff working on our masters, so our school class, our graduate class lines are up. And we also have, like when I first started in district 10 years ago, we had 1 student that had PT. Now we have 9. Wow. So our PT costs that's physical therapy, have gone up quite a bit. Current technical education shows a $10,166 increase. That's about 18%. They just negotiated their contract. Their insurance costs were more than our 3%. They did add 2 new programs, including a welding program, which has been very, very popular. It has quite a wait list already. They did put 1 program on hiatus. They had a co-op program, and they just didn't have a bunch of kids sign up for that because I think sometimes it's tricky for businesses to take kids that are under 18 because of insurance. So while it's a great idea, we just couldn't get a lot of traction because it just puts small employers in a tough position. Other instruction is down $22,085. So we moved $10,000 of co-curricular into Title IV, which is a federal grant that we received. We cut 3 co-curricular positions and 3 B team positions and cut uniforms. The 3 B team positions, field hockey, soccer, girls and boys soccer. The plan is to kind of maybe keep a few more kiddos on the 8 teams and try to do an A game and then maybe a scrimmage game. Student and staff support is down 70,845. We cut summer curriculum. We cut a school counselor, $25,000 out of tech software, library books. One thing we did add into this line, we have a new grading program called Jump Rope. So we are doing some training and going to get it up and running for the fall. System administration shows a $49,000 increase. We have an operations manager that moved from 4 days a week to 5 days a week. Now our computer programs, so the one that we run that does payroll, and we have one that does Time Clock Plus, so it's for our ed techs and people to check in and out of the building. Those went a lot, like $15,000 between the two of them. School administration shows a $2,379 increase, salaries and insurance. Transportation shows a $35,335 increase. That's a 3% increase for transportation. Facilities and maintenance shows a $141,749 decrease. Even though there is a decrease there, we did increase our phone lines. We have two copper lines in the school building for the elevator and the alarm system, which we have to have. And they went from about $250 a month to $700 a month. So we had to increase that. Electricity, we have we use some 15%, we receive 15% discount because of the solar panels on top of the field house, but it's still, our costs have still gone up significantly. And oil, we did not lock in, we could not lock in for oil prices, so I am just like about what that's gonna look like. The HVAC contract for Setamocha went up 6%. We did cut plowing at 572 where my office is. So the gentleman that our guys plow Seto, they're just gonna also plow 572, and it just could be, we have 2 trucks, it just could be, we might have some more delays to be able to get things cleaned up before we can get kiddos safely into the parking lot. There's 33,000 in there for the HVAC loan for 572. We did cut the SRO, but Dover Foxcroft has graciously agreed to pay for that position for this year. During COVID, we paid for it and didn't have access to it, and so we thought that was an opportunity for them to kind of pay that back, which was appreciated. There's also money in there for flooring. The middle school, we've been working on updating the flooring, but they're starting to, the tiles are starting to come up. So we know there's no asbestos in the building, but we do need to replace some of those floors. Debt service is down $14,940. We have 1 year left, so as of November of 27, the building will be owned. And so that shows total expenses of an increase of $278,962, which includes that $63,960, that one-time payment. So we had to raise $52,911 more, and that's taxpayers, to get $481,992.15 less. You will be asked, if you come to the meeting on the 26th, the adult education budget is flat funded at $71,455.66. And we will also ask an additional warrant to take $184,000 out of capital improvements. So overall, you can see on that last slide that Monson shows a $9,612.33 increase for 1.4%. with a total overall increase of 4.79%. There is a bill that was passed by the both legislators, both sets, the House and the Senate, and the governor signed the bill, which looks at two parts of the 279. It looks at, right now there's a regional index funding, and RSU 68 gets 95 cents for every dollar. So if the state says we are supposed to get $100, we're only actually getting 95. Now, if you look at Cape Elizabeth, theirs is 1.17. So for every $100, they get $117. No logic there, right? I mean, their logic is that, you know, it costs more to live there. Well, you know, our costs are pretty universal. So this bill has said that, you know, that's not right. And it would raise everybody up to at least a dollar for a dollar. So for us, that would be about $230,000 more. There's another piece of the legislation that they're looking at for state valuation, and they're doing a 90-10 split. So 90% of that would be on the valuation, 10% would be on your free and reduced lunch rate, which for us is about 63%, which would again garner us about another $140,000. Now, the caveat for this is it's a $70 million price tag. So it's been approved, it's sitting on appropriations to be funded. Who knows what next year is gonna look like? I'm not super optimistic, but I just think it's gonna be another tough year next year. But for Monson, finally,
Thank you.
it's a
For
great-
us
it's a
to
great-
catch a break.
Yes,
That's
good.
Nice to be on the low number there.
Yeah.
Right. Usually
Finally.
it's us that are these 12%.
Yeah, I think when you were 12%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good that you're paying everything. I don't know, what other information you might like to hear, but I did this year kind of look at like their total revenue. So like for this, the state gives 54.5% of the total budget revenue. Outside revenue for us is about 11%. So Charleston pays 4.6%, Dover 20.3%, Quebec 5.1%, and Monson 4.5% of the budget, total budget.
Stacey, do you know how many students Monson has in the school?
Yes, Monson had.
Fifty-four?
54.
Oh, 54.
So over that 50.
You're over that magic number,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, so
I'm sorry, positions get cut and services and stuff.
that was like, I've never had 10 years in this position and 4 years in my life, I've never had to have that conversation. It was a really tough.
Yeah.
It's been very tough to have those conversations. Our federal funds also came in at lesser amounts than last year. So between lesser amounts and raises, the intervention piece, we had to make some cuts as well.
And it's been a while since I've been aware or been at Soto March, I should say. The day treatment programs is still going, and so you can still bill Medicaid?
Yeah, so we've built in our into the revenue major funding, yes.
Yeah,
I did drop it down some because the state increased the amount that they keep. So, we kind of dropped it down because we're trying to balance out those pieces. Yes.
I was just curious if you were still
Yes.
able to do that. Okay. Thank you very much for this thorough report. Any questions? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for always welcoming me.
Yeah.
Right. Annual town meeting warrants is next. Have a good night. I feel like I need to maybe access the word that I sent. Okay.
Oh, no, it is on here, just, it's not in bold, so I can't see it. The school board director, I was just making sure that was on there, but it is, it's just not in bold.
Oh, where is it?
It's under the utility district trustee, it says one RSU
Oh,
60.
yes, right, it's not in bold.
It's not in bold, so I didn't see it.
So I noticed that last Article 35.
Yes, so,
planning board.
Jamie was supposed to say something about it, but I'm pretty sure I have a pretty good understanding of it.
Okay,
So basically, it's a lot of mumbo jumbo to say, let's put our planning board on a somebody expires every year rotation.
right,
Because right now we have 3 people expiring in 1 year, 2 people expiring in another, and 1 person 1 year. So it doesn't really make sense. So this will put it in a rotating, somebody expires for a 5-year term every year. And with no change to the associate members, which are also 5-year terms, but those ones are fine.
so voting this year, any terms?
It'll be the next year's warrant.
Right. At the 2027 annual meeting, you'll be electing 1 member to a 3-year term.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah. So this is just giving us approval to vote on it in the future,
Right.
basically.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, some glitch happened when, at some point, and everybody got voted in and at the same time,
Ooh,
so.
So now they all expire in 2029, except for Sandra, who is 2027. And then we have 1 that's 2028. But it got screwed up along the way somehow.
I think it was because people stepped down
right,
and
but the
when they got
term,
elected,
yeah.
there was a mistake and.
Right, like they should have just finished out the previous term, but they
Right.
started over the 5 years.
Right.
So to correct that,
This,
but I think
yeah, MMA actually wrote that article
Right.
because
That makes sense.
I wanted to make sure that I knew what was what.
Any questions or?
Well, I guess, I mean, I've spoken out about a concern, with the way this budget was written. This so-called full-time position has been broken up into multiple parts of the budget. So it's kind of being disguised, there's nothing, there should be a separate article stating that this full-time position is gonna be made.
There's not a full-time position.
Then how come when somebody came in to apply for the part-time public works position, he was told, no, we're not taking applicants because we might have a full-time position? Cause it was gonna, in the budget meeting,
Right,
it was
so,
part-time public works, part-time fire department, which creates a full-time position with insurance and benefits.
right. But what I said was the insurance, the money that's in the insurance right now is for Steve's position. So
Steve doesn't take the insurance.
I know, but we still have to budget for it because if Steve got hurt tomorrow and we had to replace him, we offer that insurance, so we would have to pay it regardless. And so if it's in your personnel policy, you have to fund it somehow. And it's always been funded. The only thing that changed was Marty and Mai's insurance, which made it more expensive. So I'm not budgeting new insurance. It just went up because Marty and I's insurance changed.
But the numbers in the public works and the fire department were changed around to provide a full-time salary.
No.
That's what was presented at the budget committee.
No, I said there's money within the budget to do something like that, if in the future you guys wanted to do that. But it's broken out, all the money, the only thing that you would have to do to create that position in the future is to raise the money for benefits. That's the only money that's not there.
So why was a person that came in to apply for the part-time position told
Who came in to apply for a part-time position? I told them.
Brian Brown?
No, I said, that's not what I said. I said I wasn't sure what the plan was for the future, because like I said, there's money in the public works position to hire a part-time year-round position, to have somebody year-round to help offset Steve or learn some of what Steve is doing, so that when Steve leaves, we have somebody in that position that's already trained. Or it can be a full-time seasonal position like it's always been, but be from the beginning of May until the end of construction season is essentially, so it would be either part-time year-round or full-time seasonal. So I just wasn't sure which direction that was gonna go, but I did talk to Brian and I told him that I will gladly use him for this budget year because that's what we have. So I told him Steve will be in touch and we can use him for anything that we have until the new budget starts, and then we can go from there. But he leaves pretty much halfway through the summer anyways.
But we can usually find somebody else to fill in towards the end of it. So what you're saying is that whole position that you were discussing with the budget committee, saying part-time fire chief, part-time public works, full-time position.
Right, so
That is not included in this warrant whatsoever.
that's why I was confused the other day when he said something. No, we would still have to budget another like $15,000 in the insurance and benefits line in order to provide that. The rest of the money would be, you could find some creative ways to fund that position if that's what we wanted to do in the future. The rest of the money would be there because essentially it would just be, because those positions are already there. It would just be pulling it from different lines to create that position. But you would still have to have the insurance and benefits, which isn't in the budget this year. If that answers your question.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
I have one other additional concern, and it's that I have to admit that I was operating under the assumption, and I probably should have paid more attention, that we were in the past few years, we've always had the budget meetings, and then we've had a final wrap-up one where we look at everything and try to get in line with where we want. We did not do that this year, and we were being asked to make a decision on the overall numbers when we didn't have the school number until, I didn't know it until just now. And I know that Aaron, at several points during that discussion, he brought up the idea of making some additional cuts to several areas in order to bring the tax burden down on residents of Monson. And that's been my goal since last year at this time. And so I'm concerned that even if it's a zero, I think that there are several areas in this budget that we could have adjusted, you know, whether it be an across the board 10% cut to some of the major expenditures. And it's my fault for not bringing it up during those meetings. I honestly walked out of the last meeting thinking that we had one more meeting after we got the school budget, and then we didn't.
Well, we
And so-
don't have, the school budget is separate and it's voted on separately. And many towns prepare their budgets without knowing what the school budget is completely. And waiting until May 14th, when it has to go to the printers the next day, because I didn't know what the school budget numbers were until today either.
Right.
So there was no way for me to prepare, and I guess during budget season, I had a lot on my plate,
I-
personally and professionally. So I do apologize that that was the assumption. I had a different assumption, so I didn't realize, I guess, that that was the case. But honestly, I don't really know what we could have cut to make it, and with the budget number from the school now, I do feel like that will be, it will be a break even point for Monson this year. I can't say for certain because assessments are gonna go up and we can't control that because we will have to do a factor to bring the valuations closer to sale prices this year because we won't be able to certify at that 70% this year. But that's something that the assessor is working on right now. But they're only going to bring us up to like, only do a factor to like 78%, so we're not overshooting at all either. But I mean, us as a whole budget committee, I feel like we tried really hard to not have a lot, there's not a lot of fluff in any of our budgets because that's just not, unfortunately, there's not money to be fluffing with and, you know.
And one thing that I did bring up during the talk about the public works and also being a member of the road committee, in order to lower taxes, I, as a selectman and as a road committee member, was willing to cut the road work budget slightly. Maybe something like Jonathan said, that 10%, but also the other larger departments like the fire department, cutting them 10% too, so everybody is dropping down.
But what are we gonna
Because
cut
I
it
just don't
from
wanna
though?
shoot
Like,
for, I don't wanna shoot for just, oh, well, we know the taxes didn't go up this year, but we know they're gonna go up in a couple more years when we have the revow. So why can't we lower them
because
at least for a couple
when you
years? so
bring
that
it back
people-
into line where it should be, they view that as an increase. So if,
But if people know that there's gonna be an increase, they can save that money.
I think too, when I look at what we budgeted, it's easy to look at the expenditures. I know that our revenues increased as well. And
I'm not even saying that taxes won't go down, because right now, our revenues went up enough to absorb most of what the expenses increased. And with but it's not significant enough to offset what the valuation might be, so I'm anticipating either no change, slightly lower, or like dollar difference in people's tax bills this year. But what happens when your tax bill goes down and then the next year it goes back to where it was before? They just view that as an increase. Regardless, even if it just went from last year and then it went down this year to then back to the same way it was the prior year, they're gonna view that as an increase regardless. And it's still hurting the residents because they're not getting the services that, like, the services are not being provided because we cut the money for it, which is something, like, those are our only two options, is to cut services or keep the money where it is, because there's not extra money in the budget that isn't specifically for something.
Can I make an observation?
Yeah.
As a member of the budget committee, one of the things we're doing right now is playing catch up on road work that wasn't done for a period of years.
Correct, I was the
Which is
one
why-
that pushed for
right.
the road committee to get formed and start,
Right, which
because it
is,
was a concern.
so I understand what you're saying about cutting 10% here and there or across the board. But we're getting back into the same old push it, kick the can down the road. We'll wait to do that. We'll defer that maintenance. We won't do this.
Well, no, because we went from a $5,000 budget to a
Right.
$200-some-thousand budget for
I'm
road
just-
work. So it's not like we're
I'm
going
concerned.
back to square one. I understand what you're saying, you don't
Okay.
wanna go back, and I don't
Yeah, no.
wanna either, but
I know.
like I said, if if making a sacrifice in one would make people in the other departments say, okay, well, maybe we can make a little sacrifice. If everybody can make just a little sacrifice.
No, I hear what you're saying, but we're ending up with what amounts to a flat budget, is that correct?
Yes.
Pretty close? And if the valuation goes up, then taxes will drop.
Yeah, so the mill rate will come down too, so
I think flat budget is pretty damn good. Considering,
considering the
The environment
increases
we're in.
that, right, that went into the budget, like just fuel, electricity, the price of phone service.
right,
I guess I understand where you're coming from. I have a concern, and there are several areas where I think we could have looked at it more closely and made some changes. I watch and I think the fire department is incredibly important to our community. I've been digging into the mutual aid agreement. Thank you for getting that to me today. We spend an awful lot of resources sitting at other people's fire stations when they're out on a call, when we get called in for mutual aid. And I don't think that all the communities around us have take the same tact with that. I know that Greenville doesn't always come here to sit when we're called to Dover to sit, because they don't use the resources that way. And I think that we're seeing these year-over-year increases, and we're at the end of the day, we're still, I think we're flat in every area. The fire department got an increase and public works got an increase, and those were just two departments that I thought could take a 10% hit and show good faith to the taxpayers of Monson that we're trying to do right by them. And I understand the idea that if you give somebody a tax decrease this year and then you have to raise their taxes next year, well, nobody likes their taxes going up. I understand that. But I think that people appreciate, like, there are belt tightening moments. We are in one right now. If you look at the cost of goods, things are gonna go up even within our budget. And I understand that. And so at the end of the day, I just think that like, we're tightening our belt in my home right now because we don't have it cost me $92 to fill up with gas yesterday. So we tighten our budget. We don't just keep spending. And that's where I'm struggling with this. Is there a way, as we go through this, what if the select board does not recommend something?
Then you can say that.
As far as in this process, like, can we change the amounts in the areas that we want? Like, if we think a different amount would be more appropriate?
Right, but when you do that, you need to find the specific line, and you can't go to the end of the budget and say, yep, 10%.
Oh, I understand
We're out.
that.
We
Elena?
have to find an actual realistic way to remove that money in that process. And I really, like, there's literally been 3 weeks since the last budget committee and none of this was said to me. So like, so this puts me in a very hard position because I want to do what you want me to do. That's literally my job. But now I'm in a hard position because now I'm gonna have to do it right now because it has to go to the printers. So like, if it had been brought to me before now, it would have been a lot easier for me to deal with, is all.
I understand that. Based on I didn't want, I should have. I didn't want to add, based on the response that was sent to Aaron's question about the position. I didn't want to add to feel like it was piling on, and I should have reached out to you at that point.
Or
To
even
express
prior to that, because that was still only
concern.
like a week ago.
But I do have, I mean, I do have concerns about the numbers we're talking about.
Well, I just wish that things were brought to my attention for now, that's all.
When do you think go to the printer?
Tomorrow.
Want to borrow this?
I read it away.
I mean, at the end of the day, if the town votes not to certify the budget, it has to be reworked anyway, correct? Um, I'm not really sure how to proceed with it.
I think that's probably at this point, like you said, Jonathan, that it goes to town meeting and if citizens decide to vote it down, then it goes back to the budget committee.
Because it doesn't matter whether we recommend it or not, it's up to that.
Right. We might leave in the notes to start the process sooner, so we're not trying to finalize the budget the day before it goes to the printer, and that is not directed at you in any way. It's not directed. I think we've had the conversation in the past. You know, I heard Stacy say that they started their budgeting process January 1st. Actually began in December. And so it might be in our best interest. Because I think having time to really to go through things, you know, it is what it is. So we can move it forward.
Revenue figures available at town meeting too, is that correct? I can't remember.
So the revenues
Is it
are right here, Article 13.
13? Oh, I was looking for that.
So I don't have a old town meeting book out here, but that's where a lot of the increase will be.
Well, I make a motion to accept the warrant as written. we can go from there.
John had a question.
Yeah, when you present the budget in the warrant at the town meeting, is it presented as a lump sum or is it presented by line?
It's a lump sum.
Because you can make amendments from the floor to amend things, so if the budget committee recommends something, the town has the option to take 10%, so it might streamline things for you, because I think your points are valid. And you can do it in a public meeting with the whole town voting on the town report, so I think that takes the pressure off. It gets everything published, and you still have the option to,
Okay.
as a selectman, you can make a recommendation right at that meeting.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know,
Or any resident can, right?
or any resident, yeah. And I know a lot of hard work has gone into this, and I'm not trying to throw a wrench into it at the 11th hour, so I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, I've seen $300,000 school budgets get passed, and I've seen people fight over $25 for the Red Cross.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Year after year.
Yeah.
I'll second Sue's motion.
Any further discussion? Thank you.
I got one question.
Yes.
I've been here in the room for almost a year now, about a full-time fire chief and a second public works person, and combined the two jobs. I've been hearing that for at least a year. Now, if something like that did come up, shouldn't it be a separate warrant on the town report, the town warrant, to let the taxpayers
Decide about.
decide if they want a full-time fire chief in a town that's only got 600
Yes.
people?
I guess that if that became a thing, it would be up to the select board because in order to create a position, it doesn't necessarily take town approval to do so. Basically, the town just needs to vote on the funds for the position, but creating the position actually falls to the town manager with the direction of the select board. So at that time, if that became something, then it would be up to the select board to put it on a warrant and then have it. Because you can put whatever you want on a warrant, whether it's, even if, you don't need town approval, it could be a non-binding warrant or something to just get input from the community. So even if it's not necessary, you can certainly do it and have a non-binding vote to just get the feel of the public for a particular item.
And Brian, I know the rumor, I mean, we talked about various scenarios, but I don't ever remember there being,
Like a for sure.
or a full-time fire chief. It was, I think, part-time public works, but as you said,
If he's,
we would still need to
it's
raise.
still full-time.
Yeah, but it would be part-time each position, but that was just a discussion. And we would still need to raise funds if that were to go ahead, like you said, for
Right,
the
for insurance and
benefits.
benefits, because we don't have that particular, because then they would be considered a full-time position. And according to our personnel policy, we would have to offer them health insurance and stuff because they'd be considered full-time. But we didn't budget for, so we only budgeted for 3 positions, my, Marty, and Steve's position for insurance and benefits.
Yeah, because you might have clarified that a bit, but I'm wondering, what exactly does the warrant say, specifically that article in regards to fire and whatever it is, a road?
Public Works,
Yeah, are Can you tell me what you specifically said it? Because I think we need to be fiscally responsible.
Yep.
And if I'm understanding it, you know, then what it looks to me is like you're doing the fire department for X amount of dollars, you're doing the road commission for X amount of dollars, put it together full-time. If you put a full-time position, then you do have to pay those benefits.
Right.
And so I just wanna know how it's worded. Is
Well,
it worded to do it that way?
well, it's not in this budget anyways. That's just a hypothetical conversation, so to speak. It was just a creative idea that was brought up to the budget committee just for future, like, because we're all thinking of ways to try to bring our budget down, but also serve the town more at the same time. And so that was just one of the ideas that was thrown out as something that we could potentially do in the future. But essentially it would be, like the bare minimum, I guess, it would just, some of the money would come from public works because it would be part-time public works and part-time fire. And then the additional, amount would be in the insurance and benefits line. So it would be separated out like that, but like the select board was saying, they can certainly put, you know, hiring a full-time position that would be part-time fire, part-time, public works or whatever. They could word it however they wanted to, if that was the case.
Because to me, you know, it should be separate so that you don't have to jump in there and then put the benefits in because you're increasing it. You know, when we can get somebody part-time
Right.
for both positions, we don't need to create a full-time position.
Right, and they are separate in the budget, so, so each would come from its own department. So half of it is in public works and half of it is in
So
fire.
there's no way that's gonna be combined.
No,
Right.
no.
Do we need to sign that?
Yes, one of your,
One of these,
Yeah, I wrote on mine.
I didn't.
I was gonna say, I do have one over here too, if you want.
Yeah, it's terrible. All right, so next is streetlights.
Yeah, that would be me.
Oh, okay.
So if anybody's noticed the street light out in front of the general store, it's working right now,
That's it for now.
and it hasn't been.
Oh, and you were gonna say it wasn't working, right?
Well, because back last year when Skip Davis and I dug into that, we found some broken wires, and the worst one was going from the junction box in front of the post office up to that light. We had trouble pulling another wire through,
Mhm.
and it actually ripped the other wire to shreds. And when I saw that street light out the other day, I said something to Skip, and they said, I think our problem's back.
But it's on right now.
But it's on right now. So what I'm wondering is if those wires they may be chafed and they might just happen to be making contact right now. I will keep an eye on that. It rained and the ground swelled up.
Pushed them together.
But what I was planning on doing was if I could get my camera down into that conduit,
Right.
possibly locate that break. And that would obviously, in order to fix that, it's gonna be cutting up the sidewalk. And my thought was, hey, if they're coming
Well,
through
DOT
far,
is here, right?
let's cut the sidewalk up and have them just throw some tar on it when they go by.
We just needed to not work now, so that you can do that.
Like the past week and a half, it has not worked until I just looked up there.
That is so
Tangentially related to the streetlights, there's a bunch of lights, like the old school lights, that they're not hooked up anymore. The wire goes across the street, down the pole to a box to the lights, and it's not working. And I don't know if you can get CMP to remove that. That's the situation in three different places.
The wires aren't going to it? the wire's disconnected, correct?
The wires are disconnected, but they run across the street.
Yeah.
Down the pole, through the box, to the light. Nothing works, it's just dead ended right up at the,
Is that the
Yeah.
flashing lights? You're right, the old flashing lights?
Yeah.
Okay.
and that's,
Remember when there was something like that in the past and what happened with that? It was a long
that
time
was a
ago.
guy wire. And
Oh, okay,
We
so-
had a guy
Okay,
take it down and it wasn't electrical at all.
oh,
but,
okay,
It was just a guy wire that it was used for banners across the street, I guess.
yeah.
But it
Because I
was-
know that it's weird now because Consolidated owns the poles and CMP doesn't even do our service anymore. So I just was wondering.
Maybe nothing you can get done, I don't know.
No, we can try, I
Yeah.
mean, and maybe it wouldn't be
Yeah.
CMP, but Consolidated, I mean, if they're just dead wires, I don't know. So,
It's electrical as opposed to phone for
Right,
sure. but-
right, well, maybe we can get them to take them down,
It'd be almost nice if they worked to slow traffic down.
right, or get them working again.
Yeah.
Maybe,
People-
No, they were for the school, which.
Right.
oh.
Which is why they didn't rip the poles out when they just took everything off it, left everything.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the state owns those, I believe. I think they're the ones that put them in.
All right. Trying to follow up on that. Okay, gym discussion?
Right here. So hello.
Hi.
So, I've been walking around the gym, both of us.
Yeah.
And usually when we go up there, it's to a gathering and stuff like that, but, and notice some things, I guess is the best way to put it. And some things have happened lately. I've reported some to Elena and Jonathan. And he asked me if I was willing to come to this meeting tonight and speak. So what I've done is prepared something. I would like to read this part, but the bottom part is the issues I see. And I'm not gonna read those. I just wanna go on record that you have received them.
Okay.
So Glenn's gonna give these out to you. And I'll just read the first part.
It's good you brought your assistant.
Huh, my
You brought your
assistant?
assistant.
I had to get his assistant just
She's
put it.
gonna be my assistant next.
Yeah. So I just wanna say, about the gym, that what is really impressive is that a small town like Monson has raised over $110,000+ for the repair of the gym roof. It tells how important the building is to the townspeople and people connected to the town. The kitchen and bathroom have been well maintained and organized, but the remainder of the interior has not been so lucky. The crux of the problem is that too little attention has been paid to the interior for years and years, and this has resulted in some serious deterioration and damage. So what I've done is put a list. Glenn and I have put a list, I'm gonna let him on the hook. And not only saying what I think a problem is, but maybe a solution to the problem. So it doesn't come off as I'm complaining, but, and so I'm just leaving that to you guys to look at. And I wanna go down as this being recorded, that it has been presented to the town. And like Glenn and I have always done, we're here to help in any way possible. And that's all I got.
Molly, thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
Wow, and Glenn.
Yeah, Molly came to me and asked if there were a couple of, well, it started small-ish. She came and wanted to do some work. They were walking around and they noticed the closet with the tables and the chairs and wanted to know if they could clean and organize that. And then that became more and more. And I thought before we got ahead of ourselves, it would probably be in the best interest to have it come to a meeting and we could discuss it. I mean, one of the big areas that we've kind of thrown around, I mean, it's since I moved back, I think is when it started, the basement up there needs a serious, it needs to be gone through, and there's gonna be a discussion when I get home tonight about one of these.
Yeah, but we've got pictures,
I know.
but I don't, it's on the phone, but you can guys can go up and look as a
I
group
don't,
and see what we've seen.
yeah, I'll, but there's one of these that, my son denies, but I got a real question
don't show
for him tonight, so.
Get it out.
I will, and it will be, on him to help make that right. So
Okay.
we'll be coming to,
He's talking about holes in the wall.
I am.
And so Glenn and I this morning and trying to figure out the holes in the walls. And
You found perfect size on
this fits perfectly in the wall.
That was
Good
the,
forensics
I
there.
thought it was,
Did you show him the picture?
you showed me, Glenn.
No, show it to the rest of them.
You can-
But this, I went up and got only balls, pickleball, basketball, and we knew better than that, and this. Oh, that fit in so good.
Well, he.
I was told by someone that the
Yeah,
the
stays right in place.
pickleball fit perfectly, but it wasn't really a practical thought.
Yeah, but
because-
this one is up
Oh, yeah,
high.
that's,
So.
I don't think it's the
We're
pickleball.
gonna have a long conversation tonight, but that's neither here nor there. I think it's in the best interest of the town. I think we can come up with a game plan. I know that the rec committee has indicated that they are interested in kind of claiming and helping with that cellar project. Aaron, I know you had said for the alumni, you know what is the alumni, probably Glenn, you might as well.
But
Don't forget to get the furnace cleaned regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And clean the
Is
car.
that-
yeah,
Oh.
it's on the list that it's been
So
done.
this is a huge help.
But my question is, has the generator been in service, sitting outside, supposed to be every 100 hours, 1 year or 100 hours, whatever comes first.
It
I
gets
believe
done
we have
yearly.
a contract
does.
with.
And see, that's, I wasn't accusing, I
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
yeah.
curious. I
No, we do. Yep, the guy who
And-
installed it does
don't
it.
know what else there was, but there's some stuff just like that. I'm asking a question.
Yeah.
Waiting for answer.
Yep.
I just got it. So, and it's easy for these things to slip by. And another thing that's interesting, I don't know if you know about, but the generator thing, you can have it on an app.
Oh, yeah, so you can monitor it and say, yeah, it exercised.
Only if it's a certain model and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
new enough to have that on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does it have it, you know?
That I don't know. I guess we can check with Washburn.
yeah, because we had it down at the farmhouse, but we could hear it start up outside the window.
Yeah.
But this one's behind the garage, so we don't know, so.
I wanna mention one other thing about the gym, and Molly mentioned we've got 110,000 so far, which a $5,000 pledge from the Monson Academy trustees. They voted on that yesterday, actually, to add a pledge of $5,000, along with $12,000 in scholarships that they're giving out. And the, hopefully maybe the Alumni Association and the Historical Society might do the same thing again. They did that last year, all three of them put in $5,000. My concern is that the cost of the roof
Is going up.
replacement
I was
may
just
be
gonna
going up
ask.
faster than the donations are coming in. And I think we need to get an updated estimate and see what can be done to, you know, the worst thing that could happen is we send everybody's money back and say, we just couldn't do it. You know, that would not be good.
Yeah.
I mean, my last trip up on the roof, there was some new things starting to kind of poke up through. I think it's still manageable as far as just kind of patching things. Obviously, the sooner we get it done, the better. And coming into this, I figured we probably wouldn't be able to raise every penny. And that we would have to bring it to the town to be able to appropriate some town money.
I'm kind of surprised we've raised as much as we have. I mean, we're looking at close to probably 125,000 here. Right off. So,
And I've had a lot of people, out of town that, have heard about it and they've asked me and I've told them and completely blows their mind. They're like, oh, we thought you only get like, $10,000, $20,000.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I just want to say one thing, Glenn and I went down in the basement, and it was, oh my gee. But there was trash already put in barrels, and we took it to the dump. It was-
Yes, there's
We didn't-
probably,
We didn't throw away anything.
no, I would say probably 60% of that stuff down there needs to get thrown out.
Hmm.
And a lot of it was, cause I know when I redid the sewer lines, the drain lines, when we did the bathroom. There was still one underground, under the slab one that was hooked up, and that caused a problem. So when I went back and completely abandoned that section of it and repiped that, I took a whole load of stuff out to the dump because it had been covered in sewage.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff laying on the floor, and there was water on the floor, and I mean, it's.
And these are shirts that says Slaters on them and those things they wear on the chest to protect them.
For
And
the
stuff
sports and stuff, yeah.
just laying on the floor.
And there was food down
There's food?
There was food down there. We threw that away.
there. It was,
And that's one of my things, I don't think we should store food in the basement, because there's mice in there.
It was an actual container, or somebody had brought a plate down there to
there
have a
was
meal?
boxes of sugar for making,
Cotton candy.
cotton candy.
Oh, my God.
The mice would get into it.
But the poop was all over it. And I hope to think they wouldn't have taken it and made cotton candy, because I don't want it.
Well, when the time comes to get down there and we can get everybody together, I was planning on purchasing some shelving and some totes that are sealed completely.
Yeah, that's the solution right there.
Because obviously that basement's always gonna be somewhat damp.
Yeah.
Unless we run a dehumidifier all the time down there, which I'm not opposed to, but then again, that
It's costly.
costs money too.
We charge some fee for people, groups that use the gym.
They rent.
How much?
For Monson residents, it's $50, and for non-residents, it's $100. And they all pay an extra $50, which is refundable if they leave it in clean condition and pick up after themselves and take the trash and, things like that.
So when there's a party, it's $50 if it's from town. Is
If
that
you're a
what
Monson resident, yeah, and then
Yeah.
if somebody wants to have like, a celebration of life, or if somebody passes away, there's no charge for that if they're Monson residents. People can just use the gym to have that.
So I'm just gonna throw it out there. Do you think you're charging it enough?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
I mean, I think if you looked at a lot of the other places that people rent out, they pay substantially more for them.
Yeah. Well, I rented a hall before I knew him, and I've known him quite a while. It cost me $100 back then. It was for a 25th anniversary party, and it cost $100 for the hall back then. How long we know each other? Going on 37 years or something like that.
I mean, and one thing too, if you've got just a group of people that wanna rent it, say there's 20 people playing pickleball.
Well, I'm not saying that.
Or 20 people that, let's say there's gonna be a small gathering of 20 people. I don't think they should be paying as much as somebody that's gonna have 200 people
No,
up there
that's
using the
true.
facilities, because they're obviously gonna be using more water, more power, probably making more of a mess.
Well, one of the ladies told me, I don't know if it was Paula Gammon or not, said that they had raised money, what did I tell you, for the roof?
Yeah.
Gym roof. I don't know if you know about that, he doesn't seem to know about it.
I haven't heard about that, but they do charge their players like
Yes.
$5, and they do bring that money down here.
I think
And
that's great.
we receipt it in just into the gym, to donations for the gym, is what it is. Like the same line that, when people rent
The
it,
party rentals and stuff.
it gets receipted into that same line. So unless they have other money, I don't know.
I would say-
But that's, and maybe that money that they've been bringing in was supposed to go to the
Maybe,
roof,
I don't
but
know.
nobody ever
Thought.
specified that, so we just
Yeah.
continued as we always do.
Yeah.
I think the other thing, Molly, that came to mind as I was reading over this is we probably have people sign like a little waiver or whatever when they.
Oh, there's a rental agreement, and they have to turn in they all have to have liability insurance listing the town as an additionally insured for the day.
Yeah.
If they have alcohol, then they have to have some
Yeah.
more expensive kind of insurance,
Yeah,
so.
some of those things, because I don't have knowledge of,
Right,
and we agreed, it may be in place already.
right. But I like the idea of having people receive a list of the rules.
Yep, so there is a checklist that is given out with the agreements that list all the things that they have to take care of before, you know, if they're gonna get their deposit back.
Right.
Okay. And then we have somebody go up and check after.
Yeah, well, the cleaning person, and it used to be Jade, but people are really good about it. There was only one time that somebody didn't do it, and so they just didn't get their deposit back.
Yeah, and one of the concerns I had is the landing going down into the basement. I opened the door, because you got that volleyball thing there, right smack dab in the middle of it,
Wow.
which it shouldn't be there.
I
It's a
know.
hazard. Then there was push brooms and all kinds of things, crisscross, couldn't get down there if I wanted to. And that's what they were doing to the chair and table closet, they're just throwing stuff in there. And I found some interesting things in there, you know, that had anything to do with the gym, but we pulled it out. We took everything out except the basketball rack on the wall. The people that come play pickleball from out of town, their stuff, they always take care of it, lean it up in the corner and stuff like that. But, and then I have pictures before and after, but you can actually walk in there and get a table. And there was Glenn put a bevel edge, because the gym floor is higher
Oh, yes.
than
Thank
there.
you for
And who's
that.
trying to get the thing up, we couldn't get it up. And so here's two old people,
Lift it.
we lifted that up both,
Yeah,
and I felt it for like 3 days afterwards, but now it should work better.
Oh, that's actually very great.
I know, when she told me that, I was like, wow.
Well, I will communicate with the rec department and I will get in touch with you, but I think we should set a date at some point, to do the basement.
Yeah, set the date like it's right in stone, and that'll be the day, like town cleanup day, but it'll be gym cleanup day.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's good. Thank you both. Very nice. Okay, road commissioner.
So this was another one that I wanted to add to it. We had kind of discussed in the past about separating the road commissioner position from the town manager position. Just trying to get a feel of what we've got to do in order to do that. There's been a couple names that have been thrown out. I briefly spoke with one of them, which was Steve Bonio. He said he might be interested in it. And the other person I haven't had a chance to talk to yet, but Justin Thomas's name has been thrown out by some people.
First I'm hearing of it.
And you know, there may be some other people that are interested in it. Just trying to get that separated and what we have to do to put somebody in that position.
Just thinking you would probably, the future select board, take whatever you believe is that stipend from the town manager,
Right.
That's separated in this
salary.
budget.
Yeah, it's separated in the next year's budget.
right,
So basically, it's just an appointment. So like right now, the road commissioner is a separate appointment. So like I was appointed town manager and road commissioner. So whoever it is, say the next town manager, their appointment would just say town manager instead of town manager, road commissioner, whatever. So it would just be a separate appointment.
Are you sure it's an appointment? I thought I had read that towns that don't have it as, under the town manager, it's actually an elected position. I thought I had read that. I was just trying to look really quick.
That's where my confusion was, cause.
Well, a manager is an elected position.
Right, that was my understanding, but I'll look, I mean, we can look into
Yeah,
that
we can.
more.
it's probably, yeah, the MMA site would be a
Right.
good place to look on that.
That being said, Justin, would you be interested if your name got brought up?
I will entertain the idea. I can't commit to it right now, but I'm open to talking about it.
Think about it. All right. Good. All right, did we have anything miscellaneous under new
It's
business?
just the warrant for the school budget and the appointments for the election
Ballot clerks.
personnel.
And the FEMA road work.
So these all have to be signed, it shows you just where to sign them. Lots of copies. All the same.
And you have stickies on each place, just, okay.
Elena, I don't know if you could add in under miscellaneous, we talked about winter sand. Potentially.
We can.
Yeah.
Well, each of these has to be signed under the school.
I fill out those, so just
Okay.
just where
Just
the
the ones that
posting
are
thing
posted.
is, that's where you guys need to
Okay.
sign.
Probably ought to order an auto pen.
We'll get in trouble for that.
Do you want me to separate these so we can
It's up to you.
spread the wealth here?
Spread the phone.
Yeah.
I just was thinking of something, to John's point about the town meeting warrant being itemized. So in the town report, it is, but on the warrant, it's not. So everybody does have the opportunity to see each line and ask questions or whatever if they want to at town meeting.
Right.
And then we have the bids for next, right?
Yeah.
Do you have those appointments?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
One more.
those are election people. Put it all together, 'cause I got quite a file going on.
Thank you. All right. New business, is FEMA business new, new? Did we- Or is that old?
It's old, but
Okay, well, let's do snowplow contract.
Justin had asked about sand, discussing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
sand
was
as well.
yeah.
This summer is the last summer of the 3-year contract, so I just wanted to bring that up and maybe get a feel for what we're thinking for the next, for ongoing. Just get that on there, get that on your, get it on your brain, get you thinking about it. Maybe get some feedback if there's any.
I will say you've done an excellent job with it so far, no complaints.
And like, I don't know if we could just like extend his contract or if what the feel was from the rest of the board, or if we wanted to try to put it up to bid, or if we.
I never heard, that this come up, so that's a good thing. So I would be all for if we can legally just extend it.
Okay.
I don't
We
know
have
if
to
we
wait for
need
that to
to.
be voted on about
The three,
contracts. more
multiple
than 1
year.
Oh, right.
I was just gonna ask
Um,
that.
Oh, that's a big, well,
What does that
Well-
warrant article say? I mean, maybe.
well, so the problem is, so it's not in this warrant
Right.
because, when I reached out to see, it can't be like a blanket warrant article like I thought it could be.
Oh.
It had
has to
to,
be specific.
it has to be specific, so, but, I mean, you guys could just keep doing.
Yeah,
Be
it
like-
doesn't necessarily have to be a contract, I mean,
Right.
we could go forward.
Adequate.
If there's any concerns, you just come to me and say, hey, this, and if we can't come to terms, then that's the end of the contract.
Could be a card on Center Street is what you're saying?
I mean, I
Family
think
feud out there.
really the only thing we wanna see, obviously, is, an updated cost.
Sure, yeah. I passed in a proposal, to Elaine, where I did drop the price. But I added in a fuel clause because as we've seen in the last month and a half, fuel costs can go crazy real quick. But I would like to see, the cost be able to come down. That's a concern, legitimately so. So I would like to see it. I don't know that the price of fuel where it is right now, I don't know that the price can come down. I haven't done the math based on the proposal. But certainly if the price of diesel fuel went back to $4 a gallon, it certainly could come down.
And I'm hoping to see at least a little bit less sand disappear this year.
Sure.
Which I think would properly operate an equipment.
And we're in a good
Probably
place
will.
starting out this year because we've got a lot left over from last year, so I think we're in a good starting position. Yeah, would you like to see prices a year ahead of time? Like, I mean, how do you wanna go about? There
Well,
should be plenty of time for discussion.
Yes,
and,
yeah.
you know, I don't wanna blindside you guys with something that's,
Or even a year would be nice, or even 6 months, just so. We can
sometime in
have,
January maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would make sense if we're trying to project budgets.
Yes, it's good timing.
To
Yep.
that season, accurate projection.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you talking about it.
Sure. Snowplow?
I wanted that on there because we had to, if we want a 3-year plow contract, we have to present it to the town.
Right, so, the reason why it's not in here is because when I reached out to figure out like what the warrant article, how to word the warrant article to give permission to the board or whatever for a 3-year contract, basically what they said is it can't be just a blanket, give the selectmen authority to enter into 3-year contracts or whatever. It has to be specifically laid out.
For the snow plow or for the
Well,
sand.
and for how much too, so, so it would be like for a 4-year contract at this price, and this price. Cause essentially what you're doing is you're appropriating that money, basically, so I didn't include it in this warrant with the idea we have the 1-year contract this year with Arbo, and you guys could kind of work things out to have actual real
Yeah.
numbers on the warrant for next year.
Or have a special town meeting.
Or a
Yeah.
special town,
Whatever.
whichever one.
Yeah.
I know. Just throw that out.
Yeah, so, but there's plenty of time to have it on the warrant for next June too, and then it gives you time to have numbers in place and everything, have those conversations. And the same thing goes for like the the contract with sand as well. At first I thought it was just, you know, like similar to the $10,000.
No, that makes sense, though.
It does. Once they said it, I'm like, well, yeah, that,
Yeah,
you're
Right, 'cause
appropriating
otherwise
money.
you could essentially, yeah.
yeah,
It makes
yeah,
sense.
too much leeway.
And I have the roads manual downloaded on my phone, so I just want to read what it says out of the roads manual for road commissioner.
Okay,
So it says a town has 3 basic options for selecting a
Okay.
road commissioner, and basically it's voted on at town meeting, so I'm assuming, to give the select board the authority to appoint a road commissioner, which I'm assuming was already done in years past because you guys appointed me. So it says that usually it is the town manager, which is why, the select board is who oversees the road commissioner. But once it's not the road, once it's not, the town manager, that's where things get a little bit hairy as to who oversees the road commissioner.
Gotcha.
That's all, because, so, yeah, I just wanted to give them information.
So if it's an elected position,
So if you wanted to change it to an elected position, it would go back to town meeting to
right,
vote to make it an elected position.
right, and then who oversees that?
well, that's,
The select board.
Well, it would be an elected position, so
Yeah,
the town
yeah.
oversees them.
Right, right. So appointed, it would be actually a town manager, wouldn't it?
Well, if, yeah, basically, it would be similar to like a CEO.
Right,
So the
Right.
town manager would have, disciplinary
right.
actions that they could take, but then obviously with the reporting to the select board and keeping them involved in what's.
That makes sense. Okay, thanks for looking that up.
Sure. I knew I had seen, I've been reading that roads manual, so I knew I had seen it somewhere in the table of contents, so I'm like, that won't take you very long.
Right, right.
And that way you guys don't have to leave not knowing.
Okay. So we're down to the FEMA bids.
FEMA bid. We have one bid.
I'm wondering, so.
My last official act. Oh, good. Got my hands on this. So this bid is, I was gonna say, does it have his name on this?
Wrote it on the envelope.
Just on the envelope,
Yeah.
right? Okay. This is from, our vote. Here, I'll let you guys look at that.
What's it a bid for?
This is for the road work, and it's kind of priced out. It's not like a total there.
Is it the road work?
Over on Barrels
Barrels
Falls.
Falls, that section that,
Yeah, and then, Pleasant Street Hill.
Pleasant Street.
So, in 2023, those 2 areas washed out, and FEMA's giving us money to accurately repair those roads. But this will also give us a significant amount of gravel as a backlog, because, they're paying for the gravel that we already placed there. So the idea is that we'll get more gravel to have as a stockpile at the transfer station to use for future projects too. So,
Do we know what FEMA's giving us?
yeah, so they already gave it to us, and it's like 52,000, I think, was
Okay.
the total.
so is it essentially he'll work till that's
Yeah, until, because on the invitation to bid, it has out GPS coordinate to GPS coordinate, so once those are complete,
Cause it's just and then it's just based on the hourly rate. so
exactly,
Cost per
exactly.
yard.
And I honestly think that we'll end up getting a better deal doing it that way and having some money
I
left
mean,
over.
I like being able to see those numbers. But that being said, if there's multiple people bidding on a project like that, I wouldn't like to see that because this person could do that in, say, 3 days, and then this person getting a little less drags it out to a couple weeks. So they're
Well,
getting,
that's kind of why the oversight is kind of necessary to have.
And depending on their equipment too.
Yeah.
If somebody
Well,
has a
yeah,
bigger
and I think that was broken out to like what equipment do you, yeah,
Right.
just so that we would, if we did receive multiple bills, we could compare who has what for equipment and that kind of stuff too.
Well, since we have one.
Since
bid,
we have one,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I just want to be transparent. So he has down equipment grader, 150 an hour, dump truck, 130 an hour, dozer, 100 hour, compactor, 100 hour, excavator, 135 an hour, and gravel per yard. Is that just 14? Is it $14 an hour? Quality of gravel, 2 to 3 inch screened. Make motion to accept this bid. Any further discussion? All in favor?
and I think that's gonna work out good because Arvo will be calling that a Skippy Grant pit, which is right there.
Done. Okay, and the only other thing we wanted to discuss is just the town meeting dinner. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. So I just made a list of the things that we're gonna need, which is basically everything that we did last year.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get your feedback, thoughts on what you guys could help with, so I could figure out what. I will pick up whatever is left on
I
the,
think last year I did beverages. I'll do that again.
okay,
And paper, did we have?
paper plates and silverware is what I have on here.
I'll do
Do you
that.
wanna do those two? Oh, and cups.
And cups. Do we need like hot cups, cold cups?
Probably just cold.
Cold, okay.
There's some up there too. So I wouldn't think that you need to, because a lot of times when people rent the gym, they have all these paper
Just
products
leave it,
left and they just keep stockpiling it into the cupboard and now we have no place to put all this, which is so very kind of them to consider us in their, but now we're running out of space for all of this stuff. So we don't need any napkins for sure.
No napkins.
There's plenty of napkins to be had. Some of
There's
them might
lots of
say,
sugar too.
yeah, some of them might say happy birthday or happy anniversary, but I don't think anybody will
But
mind.
no sugar from the basement.
No cotton candy sugar from the basement.
Well, what else is on that list?
So I have, so last year I got veggie burgers. So we have hamburgers, hot dogs, buns, cheese, condiments, and grilled stuff.
I'll get the meat again from Aaron Brothers.
I'll get condiment.
And I'll see if I can find some alternative burgers.
You don't need to buy 1,000 of them. Thank you.
Are we using the grill from
No, we'll buy one.
charcoal,
No, that's gonna be a gas. grill.
gas?
Yeah.
So we won't need.
I'm gonna donate one to our annual town cookout.
Okay. Do you want me to get a tank and all that, or you'll take care of all that?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
so I have Aaron on hamburgers, hot dogs, and grill stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we have left is buns, cheese, and condiments, and desserts. Which of those flavors would you like? And then I'm gonna do like all the sides and everything,
Oh, okay.
all of that stuff.
I'll do all those.
Okay.
Buns, cheese, condiments, and desserts.
You got all that?
Yeah, you're getting all the paper,
What?
all that
I know.
beverages.
Doesn't seem like a lot.
Well, there,
We got it all?
I think so. Yeah, so I'll do, I haven't quite decided, probably the same sides that we did last year and, so.
Not as much as last year. Well, I don't know, we may have a big turnout this year.
Everybody heard what a rocking good time it was last year.
Thanks for I don't remember what we did, I just know we had a lot.
We had a lot left over, yes.
Yeah.
I think of what I bought last year.
Well, I had one last thing, and I just wanted to recognize Elena and thank you for bringing us through the last several years. And before that, in your interim position, town manager is a thankless job at times. And I know things have been up and down and all around, but you've done a great job on the fiscal end in bringing our town into some organization there and be able to answer questions about how things are being spent. And anyway, I appreciate the work that you've done, so thank you. Thanks. My last meeting with you.
So you're better.
Oh, I know why.
Why?
Well, because it's your last name.
Oh. I have to say something, right?
No, yeah.
All right, motion to adjourn? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? All right.
8:22.
8:22.
No,
Thank you all for hanging in there.
I can't remember, I just remember there were.
I think last year I had like